Hello, everyone. I am Jovan. I am the owner of Blu Sky Retreats and the host for the Selfcare Conference. You've been watching videos for the past day and a half. We have some great speakers the rest of the day today, and we had a great number of speakers yesterday. So again, if you haven't watched them yesterday, definitely go back and watch the replay. So today I wanted to talk about self-care isn't selfish. So that is probably the quote that most people say. And what I wanted to do was sort of have a discussion about my top 3 ways that you can incorporate self-care into your busy schedule without feeling guilty. I think that self-care becomes this weird feeling of, I don't want to say shame, but guilt. When it's time for you to take care of yourself, kind of feels like, I don't have time for this. Let me, go clean or wash clothes or do something with my kids or do something for work. So you definitely feel like there are more productive things that you can be doing because all of those other things are more physical items that you feel like you've accomplished something when you do them. So self-care becomes this weird, I feel like I'm being selfish because it's more of a feeling, right? It's not a physical thing that you can accomplish and tick off your list. It's something that you have to maintain and do on a consistent basis. And it changes your feelings, right? So I think that when you start talking about self-care, people start thinking about the fact that it feels selfish. It feels like you're not taking care of your other responsibilities, but the truth of the matter is taking care of yourself first is the most important thing that you could probably ever do. So I wanted to just go through my top 3 things that I think are super important in reminding yourself that you need to take care of yourself, right? So again, all of us have busy schedules. All of us have responsibilities. All of us have things that need to happen at a specific time. So we don't usually have time for ourselves. So the first thing is perspective. Dr. Wayne Dyer said that if you change the way you see the world you see will change. And that one quote, even to this day, gives me chills because when I changed the way I look at things, literally everything I saw changed. So if you're looking for opportunities, if you're looking for joy, if you're looking for appreciation or gratification, any of those things, if you change the way you're looking at the environment you're in, you'll find those things everywhere. So when you're dealing with self-care, and if you didn't watch my session on why self-care is important, you should definitely go back because what I mentioned is you can find the time in your schedule at any given time throughout your day and change those couple of minutes that you think you don't have and make those minutes time that you take care of yourself. And so that little shift of perspective changes your self-care routine completely. For me, like I said, that one quote, like if I could tattoo it on myself or place it on every wall, I probably would, because perspective literally can change your life. If you want something like instant gratification, this is the one thing that you can do today, right now, that will change your life pretty much. But it will also change your self-care routine. So when you're looking at your busy schedule, change how you look at those things. Find joy in taking your kids to school every day. Find joy in washing your clothes. Find joy in every single item that you do. And what happens is, again, every human has this need to feel a certain kind of way. So if you feel like you're getting fulfillment from those, if you feel like you've accomplished that, you will do more of it. And when you do more of it, you become a better person. You become a better version of yourself. So perspective is my number one top thing that you can do right now for instant gratification, for the best self-care routine that you could ever have. Because the truth of the matter is, I speak a lot about quality instead of quantity. And literally, if you feel like you have no time to take care of yourself, I mean, not even the 5 minutes I'm asking you to take, change your perspective, change the way you see what you need to do, and make them accomplishments that you've done during the day. So if you have 7 things that you do all day and it takes all day for you to do those 7 things, when you do them, check those off the list. Even though it seems like, this is my responsibility, this is what I have to do as a mom, as a husband, as a wife, as a daughter or a son, no matter what you feel like you can define those things as. The truth of the matter is, if you change your perspective, you change how you define those tasks, those responsibilities, they can become part of your self-care routine. The thing about your self-care routine is you have to find your why, right? You have to know why self-care is important to you. You also have to know and become aware of your own responsibilities throughout the day. So again, busy schedule, we all have them. And I get it, they're stressful at times, but maybe if you change your perspective about one of the 7 things you have to do, then when you go to do it again, you'll feel some kind of way like, okay, I've accomplished this. It's still a responsibility that you have to do every day. So, at the end of the day, you have to do it. You don't have a choice, but you can change your perspective on that task. And that could be your self-care. The next thing that I have, and I will say it's really trendy, is gratitude. So we all look at gratitude and we try all of the quotes and inspirational thoughts that other people give us to try and create that feeling of gratitude. Because we all know gratitude is like the most important thing that you can have to stay humble, to get what you want, and to know what you want, right? And I think a lot of people just assume that you can say, I'm grateful for something, and that's all there is to it. And then instant gratification should happen and your life should change. And that's really not how gratitude works. Gratitude is a feeling. It really is a feeling. And if you haven't had that feeling, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're thinking like, okay, I say I'm grateful for something every day, you'll know it when you feel it. You'll know gratitude when you feel it. It's a feeling it's a literally one of those like aha moments. You feel it and like the world looks brighter. And so if you haven't had that feeling, then as many times as you said, I'm grateful for something, yeah, it's not gratitude. It's just words. So I'm going to tell you what I personally do, and then I can tell you what you can try to do now to get yourself into the rhythm of gratitude. So for me, and this is literally for me, the second I wake up in the morning, I thank the universe that I'm alive. I think we all should do that. Universe, God, the creator, whatever you want to call it. And then I literally say to myself, three things that I'm grateful for. And it could be literally something expansive, like I have air in my lungs and I can breathe today, to something super small, like the book that I read yesterday was amazing, or the TV show, gave me some ideas I want to try. So I don't think you should put a whole lot of thought into what you're grateful for. I think the idea is to find something that you can say, I'm grateful for, that makes you smile. So some mornings I wake up and the birds are chirping, and for some reason, it just makes me feel some kind of way. I feel good. And so I literally say at that time, like, I'm grateful for the birds this morning, because just hearing them chirp outside my window is like, it literally filled me with joy. I have no idea why, but I felt it. So I made sure that I said I was grateful for those birds. The other thing I would say is I use the number 3, because to me, the number 3 is magical. It's like the perfect number of words that by the third time when I say it, it makes me feel something. So that's why I say it's magical. But I would say whatever number, I mean, obviously, don't choose like 50 or like 100. Try and stay somewhere between the 1 and 10. Choose a number that makes you feel good. Choose a number, or if you don't have one, try it out. So tomorrow, say one thing, or then the next day, say like 4 things, until you find a number where when you get to that third thing, you feel like, I'm grateful for even being able to say these 3 things, or these 4 things, or these 10 things. So again, personally, I choose 3. You can choose whatever number you like, but definitely don't put too much thought in what you're grateful for, because at the end of the day, if you're on this self-care conference, you're probably grateful for everything, right? You understand how the universe works, you understand how God works. You kind of are just here looking for tools to like sort of pull those little things into your daily routine that make you feel good. And so when you start trying too hard, then you kind of get discouraged and you don't want to do it, or you feel like it's not working. And so for me personally, I do it every morning. The instant I wake up, before I get out of bed, I thank the universe and say my 3 things I'm grateful for. And literally could be anything. It could be the nails that I got yesterday, or, the shirt I purchased, or the fact that my husband is amazing. Like, you just don't know. You just say it. Don't put thought into it. Just say it. If you feel like that's something that you can do, or something you've already tried and it's something that doesn't really work for you, then try a gratitude jar. So we all know about swear jars, right? Back in the day, somebody said something, you put $1 in it if somebody said a bad word, or, there's several different types of jars you can create. But the gratitude jar is something that I read about that while I was reading it, it just clicked. I was like, wow, if saying my gratitude statements in the morning didn't work, this would be something this would be the next thing that I would try. And so basically what you do is you find a jar, whatever kind of jar you want, make it beautiful, go buy something from, the home goods store, whatever, make it from, whatever you have in your house, just something to capture those ideas. Put it somewhere where you'll see it. You don't have to see it every day, but just randomly you'll see it, maybe, on a desk, or, in your living room. Put it somewhere where you'll see it. And next to it, make sure you have a pen and some Post-its or some little notes. And every time you acknowledge the jar, walk past, write down what you're grateful for in that moment. No need to think about what happened yesterday, what happened, whenever. Just when you see the jar, get your pen, write down, I am grateful for, you can say this minute, or, what happened today, or whatever. And put it in the jar, walk away. And do this until the jar is full. Once the jar is full, read it. And then you don't have to spend a lot of time. If you're one of those people who kind of feel like, okay, I know it's in the jar, just scan them really quickly, right? Just like, okay, I remember that day. I was grateful for this. I was grateful for that. Just take a few minutes to look at what you wrote in that jar. Even if, let's say, you didn't have anything you're grateful for in that day, instead of writing something down, you walked past it and you like drew a picture or drew a heart or drew somebody's name or whatever it is, put it in the jar. Once you read it, I would say find a way to throw those out in a way that makes you feel like you've accomplished something. So for me, and I would even say for my husband, we kind of have this weird thing with fire. So if I'm going through my jar and I'm finished reading them, to me, we would probably have a fire outside and I'd probably throw them in the fire, because fire has this weird thing in my mind where it's the ending of something, but it's also the new beginning of something. And so for me, that's probably what I would do. Like I said, I didn't have to go here, and maybe one day I will create my gratitude jar, but at the moment I'm doing, my morning grateful statements. But you can find whatever way to get rid of those, pieces of paper that makes you feel like you fulfilled something or just gives you a feeling. So if you need to tear them up or shred them or just grab all of them, crumple them up and throw them in the trash, whatever works, do it. Like I said, for me, it would be fire. I like, hands down, those pieces of paper would be going in the fire. And in my mind, I would feel like so fulfilled because I would feel like that was the end of something and the beginning is starting right now. So definitely try one of those two things. So perspective was the first thing, gratitude was the second thing, and then the last thing is what I call the rule of 1%. If you've ever been to any of my vision board workshops or saw the vision board course, I talk about this a lot, because I feel like for most of us, we are all in. No matter what we're doing, we're all in. And if we're not perfect at it, then we're not doing it again. And the truth of the matter is, self-care and anything that you want to do in life is a process, right? And so that process takes more than, this one time going all in and thinking that everything would be perfect. So the rule of 1% is that you do something towards your goal, whatever that goal is, a little bit every day, right? So I'm not asking you to stop your busy schedule. I'm not even asking you to actually take any action. What I'm saying is 1% of your time throughout the day, you should either do something that brings you closer to your goal, think about something that'll bring you closer to your goal, come up with an action plan that could take you closer to your goal. So what you're doing is you're building that foundation, right? Everything in life has to sit on the proper foundation. Otherwise it all crumbles. And so you need to, a lot of people, when you say you have to have a strong foundation, especially in self-help books, and they ask you to, think about all these questions and go through this whole like life-altering process. And I get it. And I'm not going to be the person that tells you what to do. But if you take 1% and do whatever you feel is the right thing to do that will get you toward your goal, then that's progress already. And if you look at that 1% as you trusting the process, you building a foundation, then at the end of the day, your self-care routine is not really like a routine written on paper. It's just something that you do, something that becomes who you are, right? And of course, a lot of people would say like, oh, well, what if I can't do the 1% every day? Okay, like this is not a sprint. Like we're not trying to hurry up and get to the ending right now. If you can't do it today or you can't do it tomorrow because your schedule is just crazy, do the 1% a week, right? The main thing that you want to think about is, how do I create a self-care routine or self-care plan that I can maintain? Because we don't want to just have this self-care routine where, number one, we get stuck doing the same thing. So let's say your self-care routine is Sunday morning, you get in the bathtub with a bath bomb in your wine, and you do it every Sunday. It just becomes a habit. And at some point, then it's kind of like, why am I doing this? Because it's not fulfilling me, or it's not bringing me joy. I'm just sort of sitting in the bath with a bath bomb and my glass of wine and kind of feel weird. So you want to try and give your routine a little bit of supercharge, I think is what I'm using, the word I'm using. Supercharge that routine. So yes, some Sundays I will sit in the bath with my bath bomb and my wine. And then next Sunday, I'm like, okay, let's go on a nature walk. Or next Sunday, let's do something that's different. And something that you maybe wouldn't normally do. So for me, I love reading, whether it's Kindle, a real book, listening to Audible. I love it. But at some point you have to say, okay, let's do something else really quickly, and then I can get back to that because I love doing it. So of course, it's not leaving my self-care routine. To me, that is part of my self-care. It makes me feel good, makes me feel fulfilled, brings me joy. But you won't know the other things that you could do, right? That you could add to your routine, your self-care routine, that could bring you joy, unless you try new things. So you can try a different genre of music. You can watch a chick flick instead of an action movie, or you can start a business. So the thing is, you need to try something new. You need to try something new with an open mind, right? Perspective. Like you need to look at it differently. Don't try something new because everybody else is trying something new and then you can't do it and then you don't like it and ugh. Try something that you think you would enjoy, not necessarily to get to the finish line, but maybe you would enjoy baking a cake. You never did it. Let me try. And you tried and it didn't turn out right. And you're like, okay, but maybe tomorrow I'll try making cookies, right? So try to create a different feeling, right? We all feel like once we hit that, I'm not successful at something, or in your mind, you feel like you failed. It kind of just sort of dissipates and you never want to do it again. And I think that over the past year and a half and having conversations with my hubby, I know that that's the kind of person that I am. And so I keep pushing myself. I keep trying to try something new, try something better. Let me figure it out. Let me not quit. Let me come up with a different plan. So perspective, right? Gratitude. And then that 1%. It's all you need. Literally, it's all you need to create. And when I say self-care routine, I don't mean, again, you don't have to write this down. You're just looking for ways to become a better version of yourself. We all are looking for more ways to become a better version of who we are. And not saying that who you are is less than anything else, just saying you should always be learning. You should always be trying to find ways to become better. You should always be looking for, fulfillment and joy in your life. And even those days when you're not feeling good, or you're feeling depressed, or you're feeling anxious, or all of those things, you have now this routine. You have now these items that you can do to sort of push you forward, and try and get you to become better. And so I think that's all I have for today. And look, I'm not saying that my word is the only word to take. I literally said it, and I'll say it again. Do your own research. Come up with your own ideas. Self-care is a personal thing that has nothing to do with anyone else but yourself. So you have to actually do the work and you have to take responsibility for it. And yeah, I think that if you haven't watched my Why Self-Care is Important, you should, because the truth of the matter is you have to find your why. You have to find your why. That's the only way that self-care becomes a part of your daily routine. Okay. What I will say in summary is check out the rest of the speakers today and go back and listen to some of the speakers yesterday and reach out to us. On all the sessions, there's a little section where you can ask questions. All of the speakers have agreed to answering those questions, even if it's from the replay. So reach out to us if you have questions, or you want to know more about the tools we're offering, or you want to, I guess, join their coaching sessions or whatever their offer was. Believe me, these people are here to help you. So am I. Again, BluSkyRetreats.com. We do retreats, we do conferences, seminars, we do a whole lot of things that will help you, or not even help you, but assist you in creating a better version of yourself. And the last thing I'll say is we are planning to host a Live in Balance seminars. It'll be one day. It'll be December 11th, 2021. We'll talk about energy and chakras and all of that. So make sure you register for that. It'll be awesome, of course. And leave us your feedback. Again, the speakers are here for you. We want your feedback. We want your questions. And thank you. Have a good day, guys. Bye.